Today we're looking at how we're going to draw cities and how our eye sees things that are near and far. We've already worked with objects near and far, but now we're going to do buildings and show how it looks when it goes away from us. So I'm tracing over this picture. This is a building in Chicago. Here's my vertical line, the edge of the building, and this is kind of like a giant arrow. So if I take it off, there, you can see it's like an arrow pointing upwards. So there's like a giant arrow. And then I'm also going to do the buildings in the background. Oops, there's a little bit of a glare there. So I'm going to do this building in the background here. I'm just tracing over this. I want you to show you I'm not making this up. This works in real life. And I'm also going to trace over some of the windows. To do the windows, I'm going to trace the top of the windows and the bottom of the windows. And then I'm tracing over where each little window is divided up. And we're going to look at these in just a minute when I'm done tracing. So the top of the windows, the bottom of the windows, and then these lines that divide each individual window. I want you to look at this picture a minute and think, do you think they used all of the same windows in this building, at least in this side right here? Or did they use different windows? What do you think? Do they look the same or do they look different? So I'm going to take this off and we're going to look, if I take the picture off, we're going to look at this. So we're breaking down how we're going to draw the building, and then you're going to do a drawing of your city. It can be a building that you've seen before or it can be totally made up. So we start with we do our up arrows. I didn't do the side of this, but we would do the side down. So this is what I traced. And I want you to look at the windows. The windows should have been the same kind of windows. Look at the size of the windows. What happens? The farther away it gets from our eye is kind of right here is where we're standing for the picture. And this side gets farther and farther away. Look, it gets smaller. I also want you to notice something. The windows, a lot of times we want to draw windows going straight across like this. But that doesn't look right. That's not how our eye sees things that get farther and farther away. Our eye sees things that follow the same angle as this arrow. So our windows are going to be slanted. They're going to be parallel to this line. The window lines are going to be parallel to that top line. If we do windows over here, it's going to be parallel to this top line. So it's going to be like that. It's not going to be straight across because that would look funny. So on your paper, you can do your imaginary city. You're going to start with some arrows, and you might start, I would start with pencil. I'm starting with marker so you can see it a little bit better. You can do however many buildings you want. You can do a lot of buildings, or you can do like just a big building. Notice when I get to another line, I stop because I do not have X-ray vision to see through the buildings. Now I'm going to do the sides of the building. So I'm going to do my vertical lines going straight down. I start at the sides and I go straight down. Straight down until, I get to that line. I don't have X-ray vision, so I have to stop. And I'm going to do that for all of my buildings. And now if you want to put windows in, and I will show you how I do this with the pencil here. You're going to do windows just like I traced on that big Chicago building. You're going to do the top of the windows and the bottom of the windows, and you keep the lines parallel to your line here. See how that's parallel? And this is parallel. Parallel means the same amount of space in between the lines. And now I'm going to divide them up into smaller windows. And if you just trace these lines with pencil, you can go over the window lines with marker, and you don't even need to erase this in between lines because you're going to paint it and it's not going to show up anyway when you paint it. Probably kind of ran out of window room there to do another window. So you're just going to divide this up here. A lot of buildings have an awning. An awning is something that hangs in front, that hangs overhead. And maybe advertises what the store is. So in downtown Goshen, you might have seen some of these awnings. So you might have it stick out a little bit here. And maybe it would have the name of your business. If this was me, I might call it Mrs. Potsander's Pizza. Or pot sander pizza. Whoop, it doesn't fit on. This is why I use pencil. first. And you can do doors. You're going to have a way to get into the restaurant or wherever you're at. You're going to have a door. You can add windows. You can add whatever details you want. And then at the end, you can do some circles in the sky. This is kind of our sky. Remember, you're doing warm and cool colors. So either the buildings are warm and the sky is cool, or your buildings are cool and your sky is warm.